All right, I think we should all be back on the same page here. Well, welcome back. Let's see here. We'll check out the national radar scene, eastern portions of the country. That's where the bulk of the precipits fall in tonight. And thankfully, most of it is in the form of rainfall, but a lot of rain stretching through some pockets of heavier rain there. In southern Pennsylvania, on into the southernmost reaches of Ohio, over into the adjoining western and central West Virginia, and then spotty showers down through from Louisville to Bowling Green through much of Kentucky. You'll be in and out of pockets, a few areas of heavier rain. The more significant line of showers and heavier rain stretching from, they're about Knoxville, Tennessee, down through Chattanooga, then on back into some heavy rains. Going to be pushing into Fort Payne, Alabama. It's raining in Cullman and all the way down into southwestern portions of Alabama and eastern Mississippi. So some pockets of heavier rain out there tonight. In the Northeast, it's cold enough to support a little bit of snow. Got some snow flying there over central portions of New York. They do have winter weather advisories in place there. Expecting up to a couple of inches. Snowing from Albany all the way back to Ithaca's kind of like in the mixed bag. Little maybe sleet, freezing rain in that area. But it doesn't appear to be very heavy in any given area. Meanwhile, back to the phones and see there, Pappy, we got you this morning.
What's going on?
Hey there.
Man, my phone is jacked up. Had a little meltdown like you just did. I got a security thing said, hey, man, your space is full. You need to delete some apps or videos or photos. Dude, I went in there and deleted all kinds of stuff. Now it's just kind of like froze up. Won't even let me delete anything. So if anybody can give me any pointers, I don't know, I might have to just get a new phone.
I mean, first thing I'd try is like, reset, or turn the phone off and let it kind of reboot and see if it'll come back.
Yeah, I've done that several times.
Oh, you have? Okay.
I know there's a reset button in settings, but I'm afraid that might erase everything.
That would probably take you back to, if you do a factory reset, you would lose all your pictures and everything that you got saved, and all the apps.
Yeah. Then I'd lose your app, man.
Oh, no.
Unless I call in, get put on hold. Hey, Tucker tonight, man, had a little segment on Mr. Ray Epps, believe it or not.
The guy you were talking about, yeah?
Yeah, sure did. I think they kind of cut it short due to the Harry Reid. I think right when it came over the air about Harry Reid, I think they kind of cut that short a little bit to announce that. But hey, have you heard of transhumanism, Steve?
Transhumanism? I am not familiar.
Do some research on it. There's some very powerful, wealthy people in this world that apparently don't want to die. They want to kind of go on and live forever, kind of like Walt Disney wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
His body's still frozen. Maybe we should ask Philip that one next time he calls in. And so they're trying to come up with ways, Steve, to live forever. It's some pretty scary stuff, man. Another thing they were talking about with this IA stuff, or AI stuff, maybe Philip might know something about this too. Apparently, Walt Disney has just went full bore into this video game stuff, that they are going to invest a lot of money. Remember the movie Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Right? Steve, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about here. Crazy crazy stuff. Just transhumanism. Just check it out.
I mean, I know Elon Musk has been talking about, like linking the brain to a computer kind of thing, which that's where you would actually take your virtual vacation, and in your mind you could be somewhere that you're really not, kind of thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about. It gets even deeper than that.
That's weird.
Rather than listening to Rambler and just believing in the Lord and Jesus, if you want to live forever, there's your easy answer right there. But man, Steve, one of your callers sent me a video. I already seen it. Everybody's probably seen this clip right now of NYPD kicking his family out of this restaurant, right? Because they didn't show their vaccination papers.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you seen it or not? But
I've not seen that yet.
Yeah, check it out. Steve, I gotta kind of reach out to my fellow people here and say, what the hell are you guys doing, man? It's, and the news media's been talking about it, not the libs, but are we going turning into Nazi Germany, Steve, where literally you can't walk down the street and get stopped by the Gestapo and ask for your papers? I talked about it a couple weeks ago. They were doing it over in Germany, Steve. They were literally stopping people on the street, and if you didn't have your vaccination papers, they put handcuffs on them. Come on, guys, wake up, man. That's all I can say. Think about what you are doing.
I pulled up the video. I'm looking at it here. I mean, there must be 8 or 10 cops around these people's table.
Yeah. And Steve, I talked about this before, how, a business has a right to tell anybody to leave, if they refuse to leave. But, I mean, there comes a point in time, I'm telling you right now, take it to the bank. Business calls me to kick somebody out of their business because they don't have their vaccination papers. I ain't doing it. Not doing it. You want them out, you kick them out. You want to fire me because of it? Fire me. All these laws on the book, Steve, look around the country. All these laws. There's only 10. If we follow the 10 laws that were given to us, Steve, everything else should just be all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Seriously.
Yes.
My Lord. Just unbelievable. We got 9 orifices, 9 holes in our body, Steve, and need to be careful what we put in and what we put out of them, and man, that's all I got. But any of you tech guys out there, give me any hints on this phone. I guess tomorrow I'm gonna have to run up to T-Mobile and either get a new phone or have them see what they let them look at it. I don't know, but it's jacked up.
Yeah, if there is an issue, they should be able to, but if you don't do the factory reset, they should be able to recover that onto another chip kind of thing.
Yeah, I think, if you save it in all iCloud, maybe they can transfer it to another phone too.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Hey, thank you for checking in. Yeah, that is just crazy. Where's your papers? And it's a woman and her child. And the mother begins gathering up her child's belongings, begins to leave. And she's saying, this is disgusting. This is gross. You failed yourself, NYPD. You failed yourself. Another NYPD officer tells the other everybody in the restaurant, unless you have your COVID vaccination cards, you have to exit the restaurant. The officer continues, if you leave voluntarily, you will not have charges pressed against you. Otherwise, you will be arrested for trespass, and this will be your only warning. It's not exactly clear when and where this was taking place, but it appears to be at an Applebee's in the Queens Center Mall, where a protest recently took place against the COVID mandate. When asked about the incident caught on the video, the NYPD spokesperson tells Newsweek, with information about the protest at the Applebee's location, where several individuals entered the location without masks and refused to show their COVID vaccine cards. Upon arrival, officers were informed by the manager that individuals entered, refused to prove vaccination status in compliance with the New York State mandate, and requested those individuals be removed from the location. They added 4 individuals were arrested following the protest, charged with criminal trespass. It looks like the mother and the child were not ultimately arrested, but yeah, life in America today. Is that beginning to sound a little more like China? Hey, little by little. And we'll return after this. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hotshot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
Airports are blaming staffing shortages for thousands of flight cancellations. Another 2,200 flights were canceled due to surging cases of the Omicron variant. More than 2,000 have been delayed. This traveler telling Fox News he's planning ahead.
We got to the airport early for that reason, in case it does get canceled. Hopefully we can catch another flight out from a different airline or whatever.
Tragedy strikes in Denver, Colorado.
4 shooting locations across the Denver, Colorado metro area last night left 5 souls dead, including the shooter and a police officer injured, according to Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin. The investigation is ongoing and a motive is not known at this time. From the West Coast to USA Radio News Bureau, I'm Lance Pry.
Jury deliberations resuming on Tuesday in the sex trafficking trial of Ghislaine Maxwell. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, and I want to tell you that arthritis is not a genetic thing. It's not a disease of aging. Neither is osteoporosis. Get a hold of my book. It's all in your head. It goes into the 25 different diseases you get when you have osteoporosis of the skull. These are all reversible. You take the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, the MSM, vitamin D3, stay away from all the bad foods, including gluten, and guess what? You'll regrow all your bones, including your skull and your legs and your hips and everything else. Contact us at usaradiohealth.com. That's usaradiohealth.com.
Did you know Mike Lindell has over 150 different items on the MyPillow website, and any of them would be great for Christmas gifts for your friends and family? Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener square, use my promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175 after you've explored the MyPillow website. Use that promo code USA and save big on anything in the MyPillow website just for Christmas.
You're listening to the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
Drivers, you demand that your equipment's reliable and dependable, and that also applies to your headset for communication. Well, our friends at Stellar Electronic have you covered. The Pluto Duo headset bundle is the best communication headset you can find in the industry. No matter the challenging environment you're driving in, the Pluto headset will make you sound crystal clear all the time thanks to their 99% noise cancellation. And the Duo's not only a stereo converter for the headset, but also a power bank so you can charge as you go. Learn more at StellarElectronic.com or visit them on Facebook.
Do you have a Dodge pickup and hate your automatic transmission? Of course you do. Levon Miller at Firepunk Diesel here, and we specialize in heavy-duty and performance transmissions for your 3-quarter or 1-ton Cummins-powered truck. So if you're interested in turning your stock slush box into a towing monster, call us today at 614-733-3744 or visit us online at shop.firepunk.com.
It's coming. Crisp fall mornings turn bitter cold. As you fire up your diesel, you can see your breath on the inside of the cab.
Imagine looking deep into your engine. Freezing temperatures impact your diesel's fluids, especially fuel. On a 23-degree morning, the paraffin wax in your untreated fuel starts to morph from fluid to large crystals. These crystals clump together and form a gel. At minus 10 degrees, your fuel hits the point where it no longer pours like a liquid. It's so dense that the flow through the fuel filter will slow, causing hard starts or no starts. Get prepared now for the cold that is coming. Hot Shot's Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel is a premium fuel additive that lowers your fuel's pour point to minus 65 degrees. If it's that cold out, you shouldn't be on the road. You ought to be at home in front of the fireplace. Hot Shot's Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel Premium Fuel Additive. Available now online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Attention all truckers, Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. I want to talk to you about those dreaded tax problems. I know you want to keep on trucking and not even think about them. Let's face it, they're not going away all on their own. You need professional help. I've been helping truckers put their tax problems in the rearview mirror for years. I can help you too. Call me for a free consultation at 888-632-4506 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com. It's like I always say, keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep mine on the IRS. 888-632-4506.
After a long winter road trip, there's nothing like coming home to a warm, comfortable home. Hi, I'm Steve with USA Insulation. When we put our foam in your walls, it's like putting a coat around your entire home. It keeps the cold air out and the warm air in. We're getting homes ready right now for winter, and we have $1,000 savings for everyone. But because we love our truckers, we're going to give you an additional $250 discount for mentioning the show. 1-800-USA-FOAM or USAinsulation.net.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
And now back to the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
All right, thank you much. Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Our number, 844-844-3388. I think Eagle wanted to chime in a bit more about what's going on in the football world. Is that correct? Welcome back, Eagle. Oh. Yeah, Eagle dozed off. Yeah, it's first time in a while. Yeah, it says on the screen, first time, long time. Is this white trash?
No.
That's what it says.
This is lake grass.
It's what now?
It's lake grass.
Okay, what's going on?
Hey, just been listening to your dad since, I don't know, 1984, 85, and been hooked ever since. Just never have called the show.
Well, what brought you out tonight after all this time, all those years?
All these years, yeah. Well, you talking about that story in New York City, and there's actually another one I heard yesterday. There's a couple and her 5-year-old son was eating pizza in some pizza joint somewhere, and the couple was had their cards, but the 5-year-old boy hadn't been vaccinated, and the same thing happened. They called the law, and there was 7 or 8 cops come in and going to arrest them or make them leave.
Wow.
So I thought that was kind of weird. So, yeah, anyway, I remember the night Brooklyn died in the TA truck stop, and I think you was the last one to talk to him, weren't you?
One of. I don't think I was the last one. I think Lobster spoke to him after I did. But yeah, it was so weird. I had a message on my voicemail from him, and So he died that evening.
I'll be danged. Yeah, it's been a long time. Like I said, I enjoy listening. I run back and forth from Cincinnati to Lima, Ohio twice a night, and just out here riding around. So always a listening.
So you keep a pretty busy schedule then. Well, are you a Hot Shot Secret user? Have you tried the products yet? I haven't given away a code in a few days.
Oh, well, that's funny because I just used the last of my black bottle today. So, yes, I am ready to start using Hot Shot Secret.
Oh, boy. Well, that's perfect timing then. Well, I've got your number I took down here, and I'll get that to Chad and get you a $60 code so you can get your first purchase and hopefully become a lifetime user.
Yes, I probably will, and I'm going to try to make it. I turned a couple of my buddies on to you, and he's probably out here, buddy Big Gary, he's probably out here riding around somewhere, and maybe he'll call in for the first time and talk to you a little bit.
But
I'm going to try to make it a thing to call in.
All right, well, just watch your text messages. I'll get that to Chad. I'm not sure if he's in the office this week or not. I did have a call yesterday to him. I was trying to tell him that we need to bump the schedule for this weekend to next week. And I'm not sure how busy they've got things going there. But, hey, it's Wednesday, so typically I'll probably talk to him this morning. We usually have a little conference call at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays. Stay in contact about what's going on. So, all right, there you go. Hey, there was another shooting. Gilligan sent me the story where 4 people were shot. A domestic dispute at a rest stop in Virginia, apparently. Virginia State Police said several people tried to intervene when a dispute between a man and a woman turned physical at the rest area. Back on Sunday morning, the man identified as 34-year-old Cesar Juarez Avila actually fired at the woman and at people who tried to help her, then fled in a Chevy Malibu. The woman and the 2 men who were trying to intervene were taken to the Winchester Medical Center, injuries that were not considered life-threatening. There was a 3rd male victim flown to a hospital with injuries that were serious, but again, non-life-threatening. They did spot the Chevy Malibu a few hours later when law enforcement forced the car to stop. They saw that shots were fired inside the vehicle. Avila was found in the driver's seat with a gunshot wound, flown to a hospital where he died from his injuries. So took his own life, but just crazy times. Here it is, the most wonderful time of the year, Christmas just behind us, and how sad. All right, we'll get a quick 2-minute timeout. Gilligan got you coming up next. I think Dingbat's on the line, and room for you at 844-844-3388. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
You work hard. You deserve a seat that works just as hard as you do. The Bostrom T-Series seat has provided drivers with comfort for millions of miles over the past 3 decades. Each seat is built right here in the USA and has 4-position front cushion tilt and higher low-profile air suspension with isolator. It's also equipped with many standard and optional comfort features such as high and mid backrests, 9.4-inch 4-aft slide adjustment, adjustable armrests, and manual or dual air lumbar support systems to keep you comfortable throughout your ride. Build your T-Series seat today at BostromSeating.com and ensure your ultimate comfort for wherever the road takes you. Bostrom Seating, the ultimate comfort for the open road.
After a long winter road trip, there's nothing like coming home to a warm, comfortable home. Hi, I'm Steve with USA Insulation. When we put our foam in your walls, it's like putting a coat around your entire home. It keeps the cold air out and the warm air in. We're getting homes ready right now for winter, and we have $1,000 savings for everyone But because we love our truckers, we're going to give you an additional $250 discount for mentioning the show. 1-800-USA-FOAM or USAinsulation.net.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
Yeah, apparently the term they use is phantom vehicles. That's what they call them, phantom vehicles. And citing the risk posed by phantom vehicles, Transport Canada has introduced new lighting standards to help vehicles and drivers see and be seen. I can identify with what they're talking about. The wife and I were actually we had gone up to Columbus. We had a rental car at the time. It's going back about a year ago, I guess. And it was still, the sun was still up. It was beginning to set when we had left Columbus. And I guess we were halfway between Columbus and Cincinnati, coming down I-71. And the sun was almost completely down by that point in time. So it's pretty much dark, right? And had a vehicle behind me flashing their brights. And I'm like, what the hell? What's wrong with? And at one point, they got right up next to me, and they were flashing their brights. It turns out my headlights, taillights, I didn't have any lights on. I think the running lights were on in the car. But see, I was in a rental. I'm used to the car I drove that was the lights automatically come on when you start the car kind of thing, they're always on. I'm thinking, man, I've been driving, I was a phantom vehicle for miles and miles down the interstate. Now, they say this new standard is now in effect. It applies to all vehicles, including commercial vehicles. Vehicles driven in the dark without lights or phantom vehicles obviously are a real safety risk, according to Transport Canada. Some drivers think a lit-up dashboard means the lights are on, which may not be true. Known as the Canadian Vehicle Lighting Regulation, a new law requires changes to the way vehicle headlights operate in Canada. Those changes will include requiring vehicles that have the daytime running lights to also automatically activate the taillights. Headlights, taillights, and side marker lights will have to turn on automatically when it's dark outside. All dashboard lights must remain dark until the headlights are turned on to make sure drivers realize, hey, the lights are not on. Apparently, they've been talking about that for a couple of years up there in Canada. I've not seen anything where the U.S. is looking to follow their lead on that, but I guess that explains, because I've seen it out there. You probably see it on any given night. Yeah, cars rolling down the interstate. A lot of times they won't have their taillights on, and sometimes they'll be out there even driving in the blind with no headlights. Morning, Gilligan.
Hey, good morning, Steve, and I thank you for taking my call. Yeah, we have that. I've seen that several times. Now, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but some gangs, actually the initiation is that they will drive with those headlights on, and then somebody shoots at them. Another rival gang members or something about that. I'm not sure the exact details on it, but that has happened in the Winchester area. I know we've got a very heavy MS-13 presence in Winchester, unfortunately. And he was talking. He brought up that story I sent you. I don't know whether that sounded more like a domestic dispute than anything. And that was a little bit of a horrifying experience because where the suspect actually committed suicide was less than a mile from our yard there in Winchester.
Wow.
It was not far from our yard. I want to touch on a couple of things. One, what Johnny Green brought up earlier about us turning away from God. I'm telling you, I was talking to him before the show, and really, you think about this. This started many years ago. Remember when the Clinton come into office and they was talking about political correctness, how we don't want to offend people that are not Christian, with your Christianity, your religious views, and that sort of stuff. And it's rolled over, and it's only gotten worse over the last almost 30 years. Now, political correctness, I think, has a lot to do with where it started. Because the previous Democrat administration was Jimmy Carter. Now, say what you want about Jimmy Carter. Yes, he was a bad president, to the working class and all that. But he's very, very much a Christian. You can't take that away from Jimmy Carter. Okay? Now, I'm all... Oh, now I get it, metal blank. That's nothing new. But anyway, I guess I'll leave this with advertisement to GMA Enterprises, if you don't mind. We're coming to your party there for New Year's Eve, and we will be offering shuttle service from the airport over to the bunker for an incredible low price of $19.95, plus a deluxe accommodations in the bus, which include a cot and a morning breakfast of a fried bologna sandwich, all for the incredible low price of $19.95. Just remember our motto here at GMA Enterprises, brought to you by my late great father, the West Virginia werewolf. We'll treat you right.
Yeah, get it right.
Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, yeah. We'll definitely, for a low price of $19.95, we will cheat you right. Let me see here. Carl sent me a little link. That's crazy. He said, yeah, Pappy brought up transhumanism. It's a new one to me. Okay. He said, transhumanism starts by helping disabled people have a higher quality of life, to which the story attached from, let's see, just Monday of this week, December 27, which says, an Australian man with ALS is the first person to tweet a message to the world using only his thought with no other muscles. Thursday, Australian brain-computer interface company Synchron published a press release detailing how one of their patients, a 62-year-old man with ALS, Philip O'Keefe, is the first person to tweet directly through thought using an implantable brain-computer interface. O'Keefe's ALS has left him in paralysis. So I guess this is the next iteration of what Stephen Hawking was dealing with, kind of thing. Hello world, tweeted O'Keefe from Synchron CEO Thomas Oxley's Twitter account. Short tweet, monumental progress. My hope is that I'm paving the way for people to tweet through thoughts, he tweeted in a follow-up message. According to Synchron, this guy received this brain-computer interface in April of last year. ALS had left him unable to communicate with family or friends. However, the new small stent-mounted electrode array implanted in his brain through the jugular has allowed him to reconnect to the world. When I first heard about this technology, I knew how much independence it could give me back. The system is astonishing. It's like learning to ride a bike. It takes practice. But once you're rolling, it becomes natural, he says. Now I just think about where on the computer I want to click, and I can email, bank, shop, and now message the world via Twitter, he says. Synchron claims O'Keefe is indeed reconnecting with the world. These fun holiday tweets are actually an important moment in the field of implantable brain-computer interfaces. They highlight the connection, the hope, the freedom that BCIs give to people like Phil, who've had so much of their life functionally independence taken away. Now, this device, Synchron's implantable brain-computer interface, is similar to Elon Musk's, what he calls the mind machine interface company, Neuralink. Neuralink alleges they can enable someone with paralysis to use a smartphone with their mind faster than someone actually using their thumbs. Okay, boy, the future is here. Crazy stuff. And we'll get a news break here and come back with more. Actually, top of the hour news update, right? Full report, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
Airports are blaming staffing shortages for thousands of flight cancellations. Another 2,200 flights were canceled due to surging cases of the Omicron variant. More than 2,000 have been delayed. This traveler telling Fox News he's planning ahead.
We got to the airport early for that reason. In case it does get canceled, hopefully we can catch another flight out from a different airline or whatever.
Tragedy strikes in Denver, Colorado.
4 shooting locations across the Denver, Colorado metro area last night left 5 souls dead, including the shooter and a police officer injured, according to Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin. The investigation is ongoing and a motive is not known at this time. From the West Coast to USA Radio News Bureau, I'm Lance Pry.
Jury deliberations resuming on Tuesday in the sex trafficking trial of Ghislaine Maxwell. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Hi, this is Wayne Alaroot. It's official. Inflation is at its highest level since the 1980s, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. What most people don't know is that it's actually much worse. Inflation may be higher now than the 1980s since the new measurements exclude food and energy. Gas prices up 58%, energy up 33%. What can you do about it? Protect yourself and your family. Only gold, silver, and other hard assets give you true protection. My friends at Tangible Investments guarantee the absolute lowest prices on precious metals. Check them out at TII1.com or call 800-300-8441. Tangible Investments has 40 years of experience and billions, that's with a B, billions in transactions. Call 800-300-8441 if you want help with gold, silver, platinum. They guarantee you the best prices plus excellent service. Call Tangible Investments now, 800-300-8441 or visit TII1.com. They also provide free verbal appraisals.
A new Gallup poll out shows President Biden has a 43% approval rating among those surveyed, with 51% of Americans disapproving of his performance. Kentucky Republican Senator James Comer tells Fox and Friends First he believes the low numbers are because the president does not have a single win in office.
Canceling the construction of the southern border wall, which has led to, huge amounts of illegals, huge amounts of drugs flowing across our border, huge amounts of COVID flowing across our border. He cut off the Keystone Pipeline. Gas prices have doubled. Inflation is on the rise. There's a labor shortage.
Colorado Democratic Congressman Jason Crow is using the recent tragic murders of 4 people in his state to say this is why we need to have a serious conversation about gun violence. Crow's comments coming within 24 hours of the tragedy. USA Radio News.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, and I want to tell you that arthritis is not a genetic thing. It's not a disease of aging. Neither is osteoporosis. Get a hold of my book. It's all in your head. It goes into the 25 different diseases you get when you have osteoporosis of the skull. These are all reversible. You take the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, the MSM, vitamin D3, stay away from all the bad foods, including gluten, and guess what? you'll regrow all your bones, including your skull and your legs and your hips and everything else. Contact us at usaradiohealth.com. That's usaradiohealth.com.
A terrifying new viral video shows a man being hit by lightning.
Closed-circuit television footage in Jakarta, Indonesia, has captured a security guard who luckily survived a direct hit by lightning, according to local media. In the video, shared by an Indonesian media company and reported on social media, the man can be seen walking in the rain under an umbrella some 15 seconds after he enters the frame. A blast and sparks can be seen in the very place he walked, and the footage then shows him lying on the wet ground. He fails to get up, and people run toward him. The man survived, having suffered burns to his hands, according to Detik News. It is believed the guard's walkie-talkie, which he had in his hands, attracted the lightning. From the USA Radio News, West Texas Bureau, I'm Brad Bernards.
An Idaho sheriff accused of assaulting a group of kids at gunpoint in November heads to court on Wednesday amid calls for him to step down. Bingham County Sheriff Craig Rowland is facing charges after he allegedly stopped a vehicle with 7 girls ages 12 to 16 and their group leader, pulling her out by her hair and pointing a gun to her head. The girls had been making thank you notes to tape to doors in the neighborhood, but the sheriff claims he thought someone was trying to break into his house. Please remember to follow us on Facebook at USA Radio. For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
It's coming. Crisp fall mornings turn bitter cold. As you fire up your diesel, you can see your breath on the inside of the cab. Imagine looking deep into your engine. Freezing temperatures impact your diesel's fluids, especially fuel. On a 23-degree morning, the paraffin wax in your untreated fuel starts to morph from fluid to large crystals. These crystals clump together and form a gel. At minus 10 degrees, your fuel hits the point where it no longer pours like a liquid. It's so dense that the flow through the fuel filter will slow, causing hard starts or no starts. Get prepared now for the cold that is coming. Hot Shot's Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel is a premium fuel additive that lowers your fuel's pour point to minus 65 degrees. If it's that cold out, you shouldn't be on the road. You ought to be at home in front of the fireplace. Hot Shot's Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel Premium Fuel Additive. Available now online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Final hour underway, and lines available at 844-844-3388. I'm not sure how many Starlink satellites are up there at this point. It seems like the numbers continue to grow as far as how many Elon Musk ultimately plans to have orbiting our planet when all is said and done. I mean, he's already received authorization from the FCC to launch 12,000. It says the company wants to add at least around 30,000 more, according to the filings. 42,000 Starlink satellites? Can't help but wonder what's the expected lifespan of these little satellites anyway. Yeah, things are going to begin changing. SpaceX wants to use their Starship rocket for the kind of voyages to Mars and beyond that Elon Musk has always dreamed about. Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, that's what SpaceX stands for, the formal name for the company. They've got some big challenges in engineering as far as Starship is concerned. Yeah, Musk recently said that project, Starship, takes up more of his time than any other single initiative. Yeah, he warned the vehicle, along with the internet service, are creating some very significant challenges for the company. Yeah, Starship is a He used the word hard 4 times. Hard project. This is the biggest rocket ever made. All right. The idea is with, as far as the Starlink is concerned, when they get the Starship into usable form, unlike right now where they're able to put like several dozen Starlink satellites into the orbit with each launch, if you were, once the Starship is up and running, they'd be able to launch like 10 times that number with any given launch. That's pretty quiet. That's crazy. Musk said over the summer, SpaceX is going to invest at least $5 billion, perhaps as much as $10 billion in Starlink before it fully starts generating cash, with ongoing investments after that. But he said if the severe global recession cuts into the availability of capital and liquidity, while right now they're losing billions on Starship and Starlink, that it's not likely, but it's not impossible that bankruptcy could occur. I remember when he made that statement here a few months ago. But hey, good morning, Dingbat. What's happening out there?
Nothing much. I got an hour out for my drop-off.
So you're kind of like on the home trek now, the downward trend?
Yes, sir.
That's just like me.
Just want to check on you. Just want to check on you and see how was your Christmas.
We had a good Christmas. Thank you very much. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I had to work.
Oh, did Santa bring you everything on your wish list?
I was on the naughty list.
Uh-oh. You see what happens when you do pole dancing in public?
I know. But Brain Dead went with me on my run, and it was kind of priceless to hear him snoring and me listening to Christmas music. It was priceless. So other than that, we had a good Christmas. We went down to see his family. But other than that, it was a good Christmas.
That's good. Glad to hear that. Now, what do you do for your New Year's weekend? Anything special?
Mostly, if I'm keeping my fingers crossed, he doesn't have to work because he has a rule that he does not work on New Year's Eve at all. But I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, I will not be working that day also. So hopefully I can be part of that rule that he has.
That's good. All right.
I just want to call in and check in.
Well, glad to hear from you. And just like you're on that final hour, so be careful out there in your final hour, and we'll chat again. Thank you very much. Let's jump on down to Kentucky. Ken, what's happening this morning?
Hey, wanted to call and wish everybody a happy new year. And I got to tell you, I got to my destination in Shelby, Iowa this morning or last night, and was just about out of my 11 hours of drive. Had 2 minutes to go, so I shut off, ate, jumped in the bunk. My APU did not function. Do you know what the temperature is in Shelby, Iowa this morning?
Pretty darn chilly, I'm guessing.
Yeah, 12 degrees.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was that cold.
Up. Yeah. I went yesterday, and I love it. I started in Missouri, in St. Peters, Missouri, rain in the low 40s. Drove to Springfield, Missouri, and dropped a load there. And it was 65 and sunny. And then as I worked my way to the northwest, it just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. And I'm like, oh, my. So I started off in short sleeve shirts, and now my APU quit working, so I just started up the truck and getting some heat in here, and got a few hours to go, and I'll get done, and a couple more runs, I'll be home for the weekend.
Well, I've got a comfortable 52 degrees outside the secret bunker in this hour, so I'm doing pretty good.
That's not too bad. I hope the weather's that favorable when I get home. So I'm looking forward to watching the Bearcats beat Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that happens, and I think it's going to be great. A great game, no matter how it goes. But I think Cincinnati they'll be in the game. I really do. So we'll see. But I just wanted to wish everybody a blessed and happy New Year, safe travels, and of course we will talk to you soon.
All right. Well, good to hear from you there. Kentucky can be safe out there. Yeah, I was seeing tonight. We got a couple of days of in this unseasonably warmer weather left, but the reality check is on the horizon here. I know they were showing coming up this, I think is it Saturday night or Sunday night, we're supposed to be down in the teens. Last check. So I was thinking, okay, we've got probably a good time to get the Christmas lights off the house this weekend before the cold comes rushing in. Let me see. I'm pulling up. What are we looking at here? All right. So, Wednesday, 52. That's not bad. That's what we're at, 52 right now. 57 for Thursday, 65 on Friday. So, Friday into Saturday, New Year's Day, 59 degrees with some rain. Then the cold air begins coming in. You only get to 35 for the high on Sunday, then down to the teens Sunday night into Monday morning. It looks like by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, warm it up again, close to 50. So I don't know. If I wanted to really procrastinate, I could wait till next week to take the lights off the house, right? All right, rolling up on 16 past the hour. We've got clear lines at 844-844-3388. What's going on out there? All right, so we're hearing about all these Omicron cases. Tens of thousands every single day. Most of them are mild cases, right? Now, the headline is, watch for these symptoms of the Omicron variant. First things first, these home test kits that you can purchase at like Walgreens and CVS and Walmart, they say most of the rapid antigen tests can detect the Omicron, but the Food and Drug Administration says not all of them do. There are several tests out there that do not. Therefore, it's important to pay attention to the symptoms. Recent data suggest people with Omicron usually report having a scratchy throat, nasal congestion, a dry cough, and muscle pain along the lower back. Sounds pretty nice, pretty much like the regular old common cold, aside from the whole lower back thing. Geriatric nurse practitioner and chief executive officer of Dear Pandemic points out that people with the Delta variant also suffer those symptoms. Other experts predict that as more Omicron cases are reported, the symptoms between the variants are going to kind of overlap. The one major difference that they've uncovered is that whole loss of taste and smell thing from the original variant. I mean, nearly half of patients with the original lost their sense of smell. More than 40% lost their taste. So far, data on vaccinated people who've been stricken with Omicron found only 20% of patients reported loss of taste, 12% loss of smell. So I guess in some cases you still can just So wild how it affects each individual so much differently, but there you go. It's pretty much like the common cold, the symptoms supposedly of Omicron. But with that, it is 18 past the hour. We return into, again, lines available at 844-844-3388. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive live from the Hotshot Secret Studios.
You're listening to the Overnight Drive with Steve Summers.
After a long winter road trip, there's nothing like coming home to a warm, comfortable home. Hi, I'm Steve with USA Insulation. We appreciate our truckers and the long hours you're putting in to serve us all. Without you, we wouldn't even get the materials to insulate. So we want you to feel like a king when you get back. We put our foam in your walls. It's like putting a coat around your entire home. Keeps the cold air out and the warm air in. And with the rising energy costs, that's going to save you a bundle. We're getting homes ready for winter right now, and we have $1,000 of savings for everyone. But because we love our truckers, we're going to give you an additional $250 discount just for mentioning this show. So give us a call, 1-800-USA-FOAM. That's 1-800-USA-FOAM or usainsulation.net. We're going to give you an additional $250 discount for mentioning the show, 1-800-USA-FOAM or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
At Hotshot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
diesel fuel cetane levels.
The cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hotshot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts.
Hotshot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hotshot Secret, powered by science.
My daughter Brinley is here at St. Jude. Coming here was literally life or death, and it was so scary. But St. Jude is fighting for one goal, like this one mission, life. And that gave us hope. We haven't received a single bill from St. Jude, so I really can just focus on what's best for Brinley.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, live from the Hotshot Secret Studios.
I know, it wasn't supposed to work out like this, was it? But about 24 sailors on a U.S. Navy warship. Yeah, roughly 25% of the crew. COVID keeping the ship sidelined in port at Naval Station Guantanamo Bay, according to the U.S. Defense Department. The USS Milwaukee has a crew of a bit more than 100, forced to pause their deployment late last week because of the outbreak on the ship. According to the defense officials, said the number of infected sailors is staying relatively constant at this point. The USS Milwaukee, a smaller, stealthier combat ship, the first Navy ship this year to have to interrupt their deployment at sea. Started the deployment from Naval Station Mayport in Jacksonville on December the 14th. They stopped for a scheduled port visit. The ship was headed into U.S. Southern Command region. Another warship, meanwhile, had to postpone its movement out to sea earlier this month due to a separate outbreak. Navy Commander Sean Robertson, spokesman for the Third Fleet, said the USS Halsey, a destroyer, delayed their home port move from Pearl Harbor in Hawaii to San Diego because of a significant number of crew infected with COVID. That move was not a deployment, but a transfer to a new home station for the crew, apparently. Roughly a third of the crew on that particular vessel tested positive for the virus. Most had mild or none at all as far as symptoms. There you go. Oh, by the way, the crew was pretty much 100% vaccinated. but no one hospitalized. So they're saying the vaccine doing what it was supposed to do in that case. Hey, good morning, Heat Wave.
Oh, good morning again, senor. Oh, just taking out of Tracy, heading up north. We're going to Portland. I was running into some pretty good rains out here right now, just north of Sacramento. And I noticed south of Sacramento, Jolly Green, if you're on there, don't worry, I'll get to you, okay? He's calling me up on the other line. But, yeah, I tell you what, the fields are flooded, and those weren't rice paddies nor marshes. I mean, those are actual fields that they use, growing their hay, their olive trees or whatever they got. I mean, that's a lot of water out here. What was your earlier morning forecast?
Try again. Heat wave. Are we there? I think. Did you run out of cell? I think you did. Well, yep. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Well, you were breaking it.
Yeah,
You were asking about the forecast for when?
Tonight or this morning, going up I-5. Is it going to be a wet run all the way up to Portland, or is there going to be snow in the forecast? I don't know if I caught everything from earlier this morning when you first got on.
Yeah, I know that the train of storms is continuing right now. It looks like rain for much of Northern California and a little bit of snow in the southwest corner of Oregon there.
Okay, well, just have to deal with it. I mean, it's nice to get a cold shower out here, as long as you're inside a nice warm place, but thought of going out there and having the change.
I'm trying to zoom in on the radar here. How far up is? Yeah, right now it's snow. Like the snow's down like from Medford down into like Redding, California. It's rain from Sacramento up to Chico, and right about Redding's where the transition takes place to some snow.
Okay, all right. Well, right after we got done talking Christmas, I think Christmas Eve morning or whenever it was, we were going to Denver, and I guess we were following the snowstorm, and we had to stop in Vail to chain up, and we went 60 miles with chains on. So that wasn't a whole lot of fun. We looked on the weather map on our phones, and it was just a solid wall. In front of that was rain, very little, and on the back side of that north and south line that divided the rain and the snow, we were in the snow-packed area. So, but once we got over Eisenhower through the tunnel, everything was all right. Of course, that was last week. This is this week, but tell you what, you really need to get that soundboard there with the air horn or the little canned air horn where every time Eagle's up there going to sleep. Man, he was following them logs hard, wasn't
He woke up. He's back on hold. We got him coming up here in a couple minutes.
Excellent. Eagle, come on, man. I know you're the hardest working man out here.
Well,
you got to have some sleep.
He's taking all those hours that he should be sleeping and trying to listen to this damn show,
Well, this damn show, Steve, has kept a lot of people awake with a lot of entertainment and a lot of thought-provoking discussions, for sure. So I appreciate this damn show. So, hey, I heard Colton went to sleep right before I had that last joke out. We got time for another quickie, and it just be for Colton so he can tell this one in school.
Okay, there you go.
All right, Colton. A bear and a rabbit are out in the woods going number 2. The bear looks down at the rabbit and says, "Excuse me, do you have a problem with your crap sticking to your fur?" And the rabbit said, "No." So the bear wiped his butt with the rabbit. Now, you can say that in school and not get in trouble. You just tell them heat wave said so. Good night, senor. Have a good night.
All right, you got it there. You were a couple minutes from our news break there, bottom of the hour, just around the corner. Meanwhile, it's 844-844-3388. See what Chris has going on this morning. Hey there, Chris.
Hi, Steve. I was listening to this AI stuff, but I think you were getting closer to it at the end. That it's not the technology that's the problem. It's the freaking laws are just completely arbitrary. And that's why it works so good in a place like China. They're totalitarian. They just give you orders. And maybe that's what Hawkins meant when he said we're losing our humanity. There's no emotion to it. There's no compassion to it. It's just everything is black and white.
Yep.
And it calculates basically the odds of what you're going to do next, I think. And the way they started that is, they had these robots in the factory, and instead of calculating all the moves they would make, they just recorded them. And that's why they have all these cameras and everything. They record what you do over and over and over. They just move the robot where they wanted it to go and record, which way they moved it, saved them a lot of work. And then, then they basically play it back and the robot would move. But, it gets a little scary sometimes, the stuff that it does. But more and more, I've said for years, that the laws are just completely arbitrary. Just like that stuff with the vaccines and vaccine cards. And, 5-year-olds. I think they said they're 90% vaccinated in New York, and they still want to go through all this stuff, forcing people into this stuff. I don't know. That's what's really scary to me.
Yep.
But, that's it.
Well, all right. Well, Chris, appreciate you checking in. Anything else for us?
Well, I looked at it the other night when we were talking about the batteries. I tell you that I looked into those lithium-ion. I never understood that. Those things are complicated as hell. But I always heard they had cobalt for the electrodes, and they're recycling the cobalt, throwing the lithium away. You said it's $13,000 a ton. See, they're both conductors. They mix that into the electrolyte, but I won't go there. But you know what the cobalt costs a ton, Steve?
What's that?
At $60,000 a ton.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why they're throwing the lithium away. But that should do it. I'll see you later.
All right. Thank you for checking in this morning. Be safe out there, Chris. And there we go. News break time. It is the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
Airports are blaming staffing shortages for thousands of flight cancellations. Another 2,200 flights were canceled due to surging cases of the Omicron variant. More than 2,000 have been delayed. This traveler telling Fox News he's planning ahead.
We got to the airport early for that reason. In case it does get canceled, hopefully we can catch another flight out from a different airline or whatever.
Tragedy strikes in Denver, Colorado.
4 shooting locations across the Denver, Colorado metro area last night left 5 souls dead, including the shooter and a police officer injured, according to Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin. The investigation is ongoing and a motive is not known at this time. From the West Coast to USA Radio News Bureau, I'm Lance Pry.
Jury deliberations resuming on Tuesday in the sex trafficking trial of Ghislaine Maxwell. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, and I want to tell you that arthritis is not a genetic thing. It's not a disease of aging. Neither is osteoporosis. Get a hold of my book. It's all in your head. It goes into the 25 different diseases you get when you have osteoporosis of the skull. These are all reversible. You take the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, the MSM, vitamin D3, stay away from all the bad foods, including gluten, and guess what? You'll regrow all your bones, including your skull and your legs and your hips and everything else. Contact us at usaradiohealth.com. That's usaradiohealth.com.
Did you know Mike Lindell has over 150 different items on the MyPillow website, and any of them would be great for Christmas gifts for your friends and family? Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener square, use my promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175 after you've explored the MyPillow website. Use that promo code USA and save big on anything in the MyPillow website just for Christmas.
You're listening to the Overnight Drive with Steve Summers.
The Hot Shot Secret Facebook page gets a lot of robust Q&A about diesel problems and their solutions. We listen to our customers. Here are their words straight from their mouths about Hot Shot Secret everyday diesel treatment. Our fans call it EDT.
I'm John Sharp, a.k.a. Jay Sharp from Newburgh, Pennsylvania. Using EDT, my local fuel mileage went to average of 22 to 23, and my highway MPG went to 26 to 28.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm from Arizona. I drive a 02 Ford Excursion. I use EDT at every fill-up, and my mileage went from 12.5 miles to gallon to 14 miles per gallon. I highly recommend it.
Everyday diesel treatment delivers a 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time.
Everyday diesel treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
How do you sleep on the road? After downtime, do you wake up well-rested and invigorated, or tired, achy, and sore? Well, if it's the latter, you're not sleeping on the Big Rig Mattress. The Big Rig Mattress is a hybrid with an individually pocketed spring core that's engineered to deliver the best restorative sleep for your time on the road. Learn more about the Big Rig Mattress at thebigrigmattress.com or call 877-736-4233. The Big Rig Mattress, 100% made in the USA since 2009.
You work hard. You deserve a seat that works just as hard as you do. The Bostrom T-Series seat has provided drivers with comfort for millions of miles over the past 3 decades. Each seat is built right here in the USA and has 4-position front cushion tilt and higher low-profile air suspension with isolator. It's also equipped with many standard and optional comfort features, such as high and mid backrests, 9.4-inch 4-aft slide adjustment, adjustable armrests, and manual or dual air lumbar support systems to keep you comfortable throughout your ride. Build your T-Series seat today at BostromSeating.com and ensure your ultimate comfort for wherever the road takes you. Bostrom Seating, the ultimate comfort for the open road.
At Turbo 3000, our founder Andy Matouche firmly believed you should challenge yourself.
Put the most money back in your pocket where it belongs. Four Wheeler magazine took our challenge, and they wrote it did exactly what we said it would do.
As fuel prices keep going up, get your Turbo 3000 from manufacturer direct. Call us at 888-311-9993. Always free shipping in the USA, and for a limited time, save $45 off total purchase using coupon code STEVESAVES at turbo3000.com.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
Interesting, Chris brought up the electric vehicles because I have the story over here with all the different, the numerous choices that are emerging when it comes to electric vehicles, style, the driving range. supposedly more and more of us are considering an electric vehicle. One of the common hesitations, aside from range anxiety, which, who was it, Always Moving, that brought that up the other night, saying, how am I going to take a trip that would normally take 8 hours when I can only get a couple of 100 miles in before I'm going to have to stop for 8 to 10 hours to charge the darn thing? Aside from that, another concern is, how does the vehicle perform in extreme temperatures? Do you really want an electric vehicle in places like in North Dakota or Minnesota, where you get those 30 below temperatures? How does the cold impact the battery chemistry when it's parked? And the drain to maintain battery temperature and actually supply cabin heat to your vehicle? Cold temperatures can reduce an unplugged electric vehicle's range by 20%, they tell us, according to the testing from the Norwegian Automobile Federation. And recharging, yes, it takes longer than it does in warmer weather. Running things like the cabin heater, the seat heaters, the defroster, and other accessories to combat the cold weather in the car all will sap the range for a charge. They say for cold temperature, we've found that 20 degrees Fahrenheit and colder is when the range really begins to drop off. Well, we've done some testing on how the cold weather affects range. One of the biggest takeaways is that you need to consider how many miles you drive in a typical day and double that number to determine the driving range that's right for your needs. The good news is many electric cars are getting 200 miles in a battery charge. That number is generally improving with each passing year. But a key reason to choose added range is not only the energy demands, but the unpredictability of weather. You don't want the stress of being caught in a winter storm, not knowing how long the drive's going to take you. To reduce the impact of cold, they say park the car in a garage where it can stay on a charger that takes less energy to maintain a temperature than raise the temperature, so that can make a significant difference in range. If you think the climate where you live may be too harsh for an electric vehicle, maybe look at one of the hybrids, the plug-in hybrid. You've got the advantage of the electric motor for power around town, the short commutes and those kind of things, but then you've got the safety net of the internal combustion engine for those longer trips or the extreme temperatures. That was the question that I brought up the other night with these mandates about going all electric. Are they even going to allow hybrids once those mandates fully kick in? Because you will indeed still have an internal combustion engine. Just kind of wondering, because inquiring minds want to know, right? Hey, welcome back, Eagle. Did you wake up there?
Yeah, I fell asleep. I didn't know I was going to fall asleep that quick. I get more sleep in the truck than I do at home. You know how that is. With women, they keep you more busy. That's the reason why I'd rather be out here on the road than at home, because at least I can sleep. But yeah, you know something, Steve? I heard something else that I didn't get to in my first call, another sports deal. Hey, can you imagine what would happen in the NFL come Super Bowl time? What, guy with Sportscaster was talking about this. What happens if, let's just say Tom Brady in Tampa Bay was in the Super Bowl and some of the players, a lot of the players and coaches with Tampa Bay got sick with the coronavirus. I wonder if they would cancel the Super Bowl. You'd find out how quick they love money more than they love so-called keeping people safe. I guarantee they wouldn't cancel the Super Bowl with all those people that's watching, millions of all over the world watching this game. You think they're going to come out the morning of the Super Bowl and say, the game has been canceled due to players being tested positive for corona? I don't think it'll happen. But, you know, they were talking about the college games that's coming up on Friday, the playoffs with Georgia and Alabama and some other teams. They were worried about these games. You know something, Steve, here's something that's stupid. They were trying to say, you know, what do you want these guys to do? To stay in the hotel rooms until Friday? They can't leave the hotel, you know, so they can't contract the virus, you know, because I guarantee they're not going to cancel those playoff games. Like I say, there's a lot of, you know, these minor bowl games. Yeah, they're losing money, but they're not going to lose money like they would if they canceled the playoff game with Alabama and Georgia teams playing on Friday. You know, if a COVID outbreak came upon, you know, these teams. So we'll see what happens in the next day or so. You know, you still got more than 24 hours before these games are to be played. So we'll see how many athletes turn up positive. You know, and one other thing, Steve, I heard you saying something about the military. And I still disagree with that. We talked about this a couple of months ago. You know, I know that you signed a contract when you sign up with the military, the Army, Air Force, Marine, whoever you with, you know, I don't think it says, I don't know if it says you have to be immunized or not, but I don't think a man should be kicked out of the military, lose his whole career. I'm talking about guys who've been in the military, you know, 10, 15-year career military people, and they're trying to make it mandatory for military individuals to have a COVID vaccine. I don't think if a military man refuses to take the vaccine, I don't think he should be kicked out of the military, but that's what they seem to want to do. They're trying to make that mandatory too. And then you had talked about the outbreak on these Navy ships. You know, things have been going pretty good with the Navy and everything, you know, the last, you know, since this virus, you know, they had an outbreak when it first started, but now they having problems too. So, like I said earlier in my first phone call, it's obvious, Steve, that this Omicron variant is more contagious. But like I say, you gave out the death rate to this virus, and it's probably less than 1% of a death rate for this Omicron. So, like I said, you know, it's a serious deal. But like I say, the main thing is people are not losing their lives, and that's the main thing at this point. But I do believe, Steve, unfortunately, in the year 2020, coming up on 22, I believe in this year or maybe the following year, there will be a variant that comes out that's going to be more deadlier than the first one that came out. I do, unfortunately, and I do believe more people are going to lose their lives, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. But like I said, I'll give you a call back tomorrow night. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, Eagle, good to have you with us. I got an email from Charmaine. She said, yeah, I had COVID about a year ago. And she said, I still can't taste or smell. I just kind of eat to fill an empty hole, if you know what I mean. Wow. Anyway, enjoying the show. Happy New Year to you and your family. You know, that must be horrible. I mean, so you can't enjoy a good steak dinner, the flavor. I guess, what does the steak taste just like the baked potato versus the salad? All you're getting is a different texture. Is that kind of the way it works? All right, let's see. Who's up next here? Checking in on you this morning. See how the weather was. Let's see. Who we got on the line?
Morning, Steve. It's Rooster giving you a holler this morning.
Hello, Rooster.
Yeah, it's hailing in the rain pretty hard. I listen to you talk about these batteries and stuff. You know, I've often wondered, they talk about all this electric cars and different theories and whatnot. Nobody ever touches the point on the whole lot. Who's going to pay for all these charging stations? It's going to have to come up everywhere. Fall back on like everything else. I guess tax people would have to pick that up. Never anybody say anything about none of that.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody will have to pay for it. They went like you making a point long about making a trip. That's going to be a costly trip when you got to stop a quarter way into it to take another day or 2 days to charge your vehicle. I just don't get into the electrical vehicle thing. Anyway, I was just calling to say good morning to you and say Happy New Year. Well, your New Year rolls around. trying to get home. Been out for about a week now. Been listening to you. Just ain't had time much to talk.
Well, all right. Well, thank you for picking up the phone to dial us up this morning. Hope you had a good Christmas and have a great New Year's weekend if we don't talk before.
Absolutely. I'll touch base with you sometime next week. The rain going to be all the way coming out of Arkansas and Texas this morning. I've been listening to some of the radio, but I ain't heard nothing.
Most of the rain, I'm looking, most of it's like east over into Mississippi, Alabama, northern Georgia right now. There are some showers kind of developing. It's mostly lighter rain back into north central Texas. It's about all I'm seeing on the radar right now.
Right. Okay. Well, appreciate the heads up, man. Stay healthy and have a good weekend. Sure you'll be watching them playoffs this weekend.
Yeah, I can't wait. Friday. Go Bearcats.
Me neither, man. I think they'll be good games. I really do. But have a good morning, man. We'll touch base with you one day next week or something.
All right.
You guys take care.
Be safe out there. Thank you very much. About 11 before the hour. Yeah, a lot of rain there in Mississippi. Rather Alabama. The heaviest rain is in Alabama. Yeah, not actually a whole lot going on in Mississippi. The bulk of the rain, central Alabama. Get into some really heavy rain there in northeast Alabama, northwest Georgia this morning. On up into Cleveland, Tennessee, heading up toward Jefferson City. Yeah, really riding in the rain. See another line of showers back into Louisiana. Some rain from Monroe, Louisiana, down into central portions of the state. Yeah, Texas is pretty quiet. Oh, we'll be back in 2 here. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. Are you one of those truck drivers that came home after a long haul and found the only thing waiting for you was a stack of IRS letters? Your significant other was gone, but your newfound IRS problem is still there. I've heard this story many times over the years. While I can't help you with your broken heart, I can fix your tax problems. If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or haven't filed for many years, call me for a free consultation at 888-557-4020 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com. Like I always say, you keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep mine on the IRS.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest and then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
stiction.
Found throughout the oil system, stiction is the sticky friction that negatively impacts your engine's ability to function at an optimal level. The molecular structure of oil is a hydrocarbon. The engine's extreme heat, tight tolerances, and high pressure cause the oil to break down and release hydrogen, leaving behind varnish, a carbon-based deposit. The varnish clings to the engine's moving parts, creating drag on the turbocharger, oil pump, and pistons. Symptoms of stiction include a rough idle and the loss of fuel economy and performance. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator delivers a 98% clean rating in third-party scrub tests. Its synthetic cleaner plus nano lubricant contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Stiction Eliminator is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
Yeah, at least for the moment, we can, especially in the south central and southeastern USA, folks continue to enjoy, well above normal temperatures. And that continues probably right up till about New Year's Day, but big time reality check will be coming in. I mean, between, just say now and Saturday, going to be running 15 to as much as 25 degrees above normal. In the east, 70s as far north as Virginia, they tell us. Oklahoma City could be actually challenging some records. But look out from like New Year's Day into the 2nd of January. You're going to see temperatures crashing into the 20s. Saturday, then into the teens. Actually, that's Saturday night. New Year's Day into Sunday morning. And that's right on the heels of temperatures in the 60s and near 70 here over the next couple of days. A little further east, places like Memphis and further south in Houston, that big-time reality check doesn't kick in probably till Sunday. Temperatures are going to be slashed by 20 to 40 degrees. Big-time adjustment coming your way. Hey, good morning, Larry. What's happening out there?
Good morning. A little rain, but can't control that, can we?
Well, if I had the ability to control that, I'd be a very rich man, would I not?
Absolutely. Listening to you talk about the electric cars and their range issues, and I'm sure this has been thought of by some high-paid engineer, but I'm curious. Every car that we drive today has a battery in it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that battery is charged with an alternator, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so imagine this. I now have my electric car with large batteries in it, and I'm driving down the road at 40 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, whatever speed is. And now I have a device connected to my wheels, which becomes an alternator to generate electric back into my battery to recharge my batteries while I'm going down the road. Does that make sense?
I believe, obviously, I think it's been thought of. I don't know if the alternator doesn't have the capabilities of charging. I mean, putting out enough juice to keep those, because the batteries are so much bigger on the electric car. But I think they're working on that.
It sounds very simplistic, but as I said, I'm sure somebody has thought of that, and I didn't know if that has been tried and failed. But one more thing I'll throw out. We were talking about lights earlier. I had a lieutenant from the Ohio State Patrol Post in Brown County one time that the trash trucks during the night season, as they're picking up trash in the rural areas, the driver would typically have his brights on and jump out of the vehicle to empty somebody's trash. While approaching vehicle, with the bright lights on, that approaching vehicle is blinded until they passed the span of a light coming from the vehicle, therefore blinding the oncoming traveler. So with that being said, I had a conversation with International and Mac, and I asked this question. When not only the trash trucks, but when somebody is parking, can there be a device that kicks the lights down to the lowest candle power allowed by law? That way, whether it's a trash truck or anybody making a delivery or pickup, the lights would be dimmed. They all told me that that was possible. International and Max said yes, but they wanted somebody else to fund the development for that, because the trash truck industry is less than 10% of vehicles that are made, and it wasn't beneficial for them to do that.
Okay. And they want the biggest bang for the buck. They want the 90% of the market, not the 10%.
Yeah, and they want somebody else to pay for it. They agreed that, it was an obvious issue, but they weren't willing to fund it themselves. They wanted somebody else to fund it. It was pretty frustrating for me because here I have a state trooper with a very logical problem or solution to the problem for him was to tell the guys to kick the high beams off. But when they're working. Yeah, think about a UPS guy, a trash truck guy, getting in and out of the truck in the dark season. And as soon as the brakes come on, those lights should be dimmed to the lowest candle power allowed by law to avoid blinding oncoming traffic. Seems simple to me.
And it could be a life-saving device, right? Because the blinded driver, and we hear so many about, especially for the new, these LED like police lights, the blue and the reds and all those that are, so much brighter and blinding. People, well, hell, we had one officer that lost his life in a scenario just like that in this city a couple of years ago. A crash scene, all the vehicles and a car coming through in the open lane, and the officer was moving the cones. And they actually went out there and reenacted, and they said, based on the conditions and all the flashing lights, that driver could very easily have been blinded by that. Couldn't see the individual there in the roadway. All right. Hey, we got to close it out here on a Wednesday. Have a great hump day. We'll see you back at the midnight hour tonight. Hope you'll join us once again. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
Never guess the places that I've been. You never guess the places that I've been. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. Never gonna lose the ones I love. Never gonna lose the ones I love. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that world that I dream of. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, 'cause I can't face this day alone. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Give me my dreams.